The Casio G-Shock DW-H5600 is a classic-looking digital wristwatch with a serious amount of smart tech under the hood. In many ways, it's the ultimate collaboration. A classy-looking retro wearable packing the kinds of features people want from a smartwatch: health tracking, fitness tech, and smart notifications. And it's the latest Casio to be powered by Polar, with algorithms from the sports tech giant. We saw a similar with the G-Shock H2000 earlier this year, which brought Polar algorithms to the party, and offered some brilliant tracking. However, it was let down by a clunky app, and some bizarre quirks in the setup. The Casio G-Shock DW-H5600 costs $299 or £269, so it's a lot more than your average digital watch. But it does pack a fair amount of features. But what else could you get for the same money? Well, a 40mm Apple Watch SE is accessible for the same amount, and a 44mm for closer to $329 or £300. In the Android camp, a Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 is again around the same price. And as we mentioned, the Casio G-Shock H2000 comes in at over $300 per £300, but is a different beast in terms of design and feel. The Casio G-Shock H5600 is just a total digital watch throwback, and we love it. And what's more, so many friends and acquaintances dug the design. It boasts the classic octagonal case, which measures 51mm and weighs 59 grams. That may sound big, but it's way smaller than a classic G-Shock, e.g. the Mudman or H2000, and far more wearable and manageable. The screen itself is a monochrome MIP LCD, exactly what you'd find in a classic Casio. It's easy to read and refreshingly basic, although it does struggle to fit lots of data on the screen, so notifications are pretty basic. There are 4 buttons positioned in each corner, just like old-school Casios. By default, they make a digital bleep on every press, which is a lovely dose of nostalgia, if a little annoying in quiet rooms. You can turn this off in the settings. However, the buttons are very small, and thanks to being depressed into the corners of the watch, super tough to press, we found ourselves having to dig our nails in to make sure it worked. If you have big digits, this could be really difficult. It makes navigating the watch a bit of a chore. It's not something that would stop us from recommending the H5600 if it fits the bill for you. We had the DW-H5600 MB1ER version, which features a stainless steel surround, which finishes the look off nicely. We were surprised, however, to find this attracted a lot of scratches in a short space of time, which seems at odds with the G-Shock attitude to toughness. So perhaps it's best to choose the DW-H5600 instead, which just uses the toughened polymer case material instead. But the Casio G-Shock DW-H5600 is packed with features, and is powered by Polar, so it uses the fitness giant's algorithms and experience. On the health and fitness front, the DW-H5600 packs a heart rate monitor, and can also keep tabs on workouts. It doesn't have GPS built in, a miss at this price point really, but it will track distance if you take your smartphone along for the ride, which should provide good enough accuracy. The Polar algorithms used here offer sleep tracking, nightly recharge, as well as cardio status, and the in-workout heart rate and analysis as well. Aside from fitness tracking, the DW-H5600 also provides a smattering of smartwatch features and will display notifications from your smartphone. It's an all-or-nothing approach, and we felt it was akin to drinking from a fire hose of prompts and alerts, and even notifications that were muted on our iPhone appeared on the wrist. As we mentioned, the screen isn't really big enough to show rich notifications, so one has to question its usefulness. You could stop notifications at source and turn all apps off on your iPhone if you want to make the Casio feel more useful, but you can't even choose to allow only calls. There are just 3 sports modes built into the DW-H5600: running, gym, and walking, which may surprise those considering a purchase based on Polar's tracking credentials. Gym tracking is an open, non-GPS workout that tracks heart rate, calories, and duration and is designed for open sessions, as well as HIIT, classes, and functional fitness. You could also use this for activities such as indoor cycling. Walking is surprisingly powerful, with distance, speed, time, and step counts. It would be a fun watch to take on a hike, just to track your progress. There's surprisingly no mode for swimming, despite the watch being water-resistant to 200 meters. The running profile is very complete and offers pace, distance, time, heart rate zones. We took it for a couple of runs and were impressed with the experience overall, as we were with the H2000. Live workout data is easy to read, despite the small display, and you can cycle through data screens using the bottom left buttons. As we mentioned, there's no GPS built in, so you'll need to take your smartphone with you. We found GPS accuracy usable, but it was around 100 meters short over 5K and 200 to 300 short over 10K. The DW-H5600 features solar power, which assists in offering decent longevity. We found around 7 days of use, depending on how often we worked out. It means there's no battery anxiety around using the H5600, although more than a dumb watch. Charging was a little temperamental, and the giant clip used to plug in the DW-H5600 sometimes didn't register, so the smartwatch wasn't charged when we returned. You need to be careful, and make sure the watch doesn't move after you set it charging. Getting a complete charge took between 2 to 3 hours, so it's not exactly rapid, but at least you don't need to do it too often. If you love the design of the G-Shock DW-H5600 and looking for a classic-looking Casio watch, which also boasts solid health and fitness smartwatch features, then buy this with our blessing. It's a fun watch to own and doesn't feel like a computer on the wrist, and backs up its features with solid workout and sleep tracking smarts. There are some serious usability quirks here, and the app is poor, so if you're serious about your training data, or getting proper smartwatch skills, you should probably buy an Apple Watch SE or Garmin instead.